Hey everyone, my name is Kevin and I am here in the state of Maryland. Today's video is going to be about illegal use of hands. Now if you're a coach or player, I beg you, please stick around, watch, listen to what I have to say, because today we are going to talk about the most misunderstood rule in high school football. Not just misunderstood by coaches and players, but also misunderstood by football officials. We're specifically going to talk about the contact against a eligible receiver who's no longer a potential blocker, and I'm going to get into that. But before we go any further, we have to understand one thing. We need to forget everything you know about illegal use of hands in the NFL, because it's a completely different rule, and in high school we have some different rules. First off, in high school we don't have a 5-yard buffer zone like they do in the NFL, so that's you got to forget about that. And even crew chiefs and other officials, the signal in high school football is even different. We use signal 42 for illegal use of hands. We don't use this, and we don't use the signal 43. All right, it's going to be a 42, so even that's different. So no buffer zone. The rule is completely different, and we're going to specifically talk about contact against receivers. When we talk about illegal use of hands by the defense, we also want to understand a pass does not have to be thrown to be a foul. All right. So I said it's misunderstood, right? You get that. But when I say that it's just misunderstood, it's not really everyone's fault. All right. This rule is hidden deep into the rule book. It's in Rule 9, Section 2, Article 3, and Article 3 even is broken down to certain letters, and it's going to be letter D, and that is a defensive player may not contact an eligible receiver who is no longer a potential blocker, and that's it. You just get that one sentence. So, well, what does that mean? I need some more help with it. Well, the rule is kind of vague, not great, right, and it's hidden deep down there. What you have to do is you have to go into the case book and look, and then at the beginning of Rule 9, Section 2 of the case book, they give the specific scenario. Hey, there's a receiver. He's cutting across the middle of the field. He's not trying to block anybody. He's looking back at the quarterback. He wants to catch a pass, and a defensive player comes up to him and contacts him, kind of throws him off his route, slows him down, whatever. That is a foul for illegal use of hands by the defense. The case book even goes on a little more further to say not only is it a foul, but some of the things that you can use to judge this is if the receiver cuts away, if the receiver's on the same line, the same yard line as the defensive player or past the defensive player. All contact is off. Now, this isn't a safety foul, officials, so we only throw the foul if we see it. We see the whole thing, and we're 100% sure. There is going to be some judgment here. There is going to be some subjectivity as to whether this guy that's trying to catch a pass, is he trying to block a player, or is he going across the field to catch a pass? So we're going to move on. We'll take a look at some film and try to clear some of this stuff up. Okay, our first play that we're going to look at here. You see the receiver highlighted in yellow. He's going to run a route. Obvious pass play. He's running his route, and he is contacted by a defender here. Now when you watch the receiver, he's not running towards the defender. He gets to the same yard line as the defender, and he's almost past them, and he's contacted. Once he gets here, if he's not moving towards the defender, he is not allowed to be touched. Well, I don't want to say touched. He's not allowed to be contacted. And you can see the defender here throws him off his route, disrupts the timing. We're going to run through it one more time here. This is a foul for illegal use of hands. Okay, you can see the pass is incomplete. This is going to be 10 yards previous spot. This is a loose ball play. It's a foul during a loose ball play. But what I want to make clear here is, had this quarterback, we have the foul occurring now. There's the foul. Now, because this receiver's been thrown off his route, if the quarterback decides to tuck the ball and run down the field, this is still going to be a foul The difference will be in enforcement. This is a running play if he were to run and get tackled, and that's when we would tack on 10 yards to the end of the run. Okay, we're going to take a look at another one here. This one's going to be a little bit more difficult to get, and we're not 100% sure that we have a foul here, so we're going to let this one go. Check out our receiver highlighted in yellow here. He's going to run straight towards the defensive back. When the receiver runs in here and he puts his hand up like you see here in slow motion, is this receiver in white, is he a potential blocker? Well, yeah, he could very well be blocking. We have no idea. The defense doesn't know if this is a run play or a pass play. It could be some type of draw. So he runs straight into the defensive back. The defensive back is allowed to ward this opponent off. Okay, he's allowed to push him and get him off of him. That is completely legal contact there. Now, the reason I show this one is, one, it's not 100% sure that we have a foul here. Okay, there is contact on a potential receiver or on an eligible receiver, but we don't know. We're going to let this one go because we're not 100% sure that we have a foul. But coaches, what you have to understand is we don't know, so we're going to let this go. So what you need to coach up your players and tell them, get around this guy. Make a move or get around this guy. And then if he's contacting, as long as we can tell that you don't want to block, that's when the restriction starts for illegal use of hands. Okay, taking a couple more looks here. Check out my guy here highlighted in yellow here. He's an eligible receiver, and you can watch him go across the middle. Does it look like he has any interest in blocking anybody? Boom. And there you go. So there is our illegal use of hands. This is a classic example. Everyone can tell there's absolutely no argument. This kid is looking back towards the quarterback. He's doing his thing. He's running his route. He has no interest in blocking anyone, and he's here and he's contacted. Okay, so that is a foul for illegal use of hands. Let's let this one run here. Okay, and so it's an incomplete pass, 10 yards, previous spot. This one's going to be a little bit more difficult. Check out my guy highlighted here in yellow. What's he do? He runs directly towards this defender. Contact here. This is going to be illegal contact. This defender is allowed to ward off an opponent, okay? We don't know. Number 9 in white here, he could very well be trying to block him. So let's let this one go unless we're 100% sure that we have a foul. Okay, moving on. We're going to check this one out. Watch our receivers come out here. Watch our defenders. All right. Now, we're going to break both these down. Number 9, look, he's churning. He's cutting away. Looking back towards the quarterback. He has no interest in blocking anyone. He wants to catch a pass. And he's contacted right here by this guy. We're going to rewind it. Very, very, very obvious that number 9 doesn't want to block anybody, and he wants to catch a pass. And he is illegally contacted there. Okay? But let's take a look at this guy over here. Watch him run straight into the linebacker and put his hands up. Well, we don't know about this one. So we actually have legal contact by the defense in here. Illegal contact by the defense here. We have a pass play. Looks like very, very close to the neutral zone. So once again, we're going to let that one go as far as the white player over here having any type of pass interference restrictions. Another pass play. You can see our receiver here running his route, looking back. Now he's churning. He wants to churn and cut up field. And he's contacted. This one's we're going to let go. And we're going to let this one go only because there's a pass in the air, and the ball's already in the air. And remember, there's no defensive pass interference when the ball is obviously thrown away from where the contact occurs. However, let's just say, just for fun, the quarterback here, he's holding the ball, the ball's not being passed yet, and now we have this contact. Now we have a problem in here, okay? That would be illegal use of hands. More look here, receiver cutting across the field, doing his thing, just trying to get away, and he's contacted there. This is illegal use of hands. He wants to get away. He's trying to run a route, and the defender in here contacts him. This is illegal use of hands. We then have the pass play, which is caught, tackled. Now this is a loose ball play, so the only option here is accept the results of the play or take 10 yards to previous spot. Had the quarterback tucked and ran, then we're going to add 10 yards to the end of the run. Okay, I'm going to leave you with a couple photos of vintage football so you don't have to look at me as we close things out. Just please remember that illegal use of hands is a foul by the defense. Understand the definition. Talk amongst your groups, coaches. I encourage you to reach out to your local officiating associations if you need any more clarification. Just remember, the defender is entitled to his place on the field. We're only going to throw flag officials if we're 100% sure that we have a foul. Guys, thanks for tuning in. Please subscribe, and I look forward to publishing more videos in the future. Leave any comments down below. Thanks again, everybody.